Last night was plenty full. 4 hours, 5 minutes, and 12 innings full of just about everything you could imagine. From start to finish, there wasn't a moment when something unexpected didn't occur. After a dozen, the advantage was with the visitors. But tonight, the visitors will have their hands full with Doc. The Phillies haven't had a whole lot of success in the first game of every series so far this year, but after that, they have been the best in baseball. Tonight it's Game 2 between the Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers here at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with Chris Wheeler. Sarge will be around in just a little while. Well, the Phillies lost last night in their longest game of the year, the first time they went over 3 hours in a ball game, but tonight they turned things over to Doc, and that's all you need to say.
Well, the last time he pitched, the Phillies had lost the first game of the series too, Tom, to the Washington Nationals. So Roy Halladay went out there that night trying to get it done, trying to get him a win, and he just absolutely carved this Washington team up through the first 8 innings. He looked almost unhittable using all his pitches, the sinker, slider, cutter. He used that changeup you see right there very effectively. And then in the 9th inning, he got in a jam. Charlie came out and said, well, here I am. And Roy Halladay said, I'll take care of it. He had 6 strikeouts going into the 9th inning. When it was all over, right there with Ivan Rodriguez, that was strikeout number 9. This guy is just an amazing pitcher. You see what he has done home and road. He really loved pitching at Sky Dome, no doubt about it, up in Montreal. You see his home record right now. Now, Roy Halladay is a guy who last year pitched a no-hitter. He pitched a perfect game, and yet he's a guy who never, ever thinks that his work is done as far as getting better as a major league pitcher.
I think there's always times, start to start, in the middle of a start, after a game that you're trying to correct, that you're trying to work on. And those things are always going to be there. You're always trying to get better. And, as much as you may know something, there's still going to be things that you forget or you're not doing that you constantly have to remind yourself. So, there's always times, in most every game where, I wish I would have done this or I forgot to do that. But that's just how baseball is. I think that, you accept it's something you're always trying to get better at, realizing you'll never be perfect. So it's just that constant, grind of trying to get better, trying to improve, and I don't think that'll ever change.
Well, a lot of people think the Phillies aren't going to have losing streaks this year, long losing streaks, Tommy, and one of the reasons is that guy right there, Roy Halladay.
Roy Halladay back on the mound tonight. Tomorrow it'll be Cliff Lee. The Phillies are looking to take Game 2 of this 3-game series. Who will they face? Well, they'll face a familiar face, Randy Wolf, who will make his 4th start of the season. And you remember back in 1999 when Randy Wolf made his major league debut in a Phillies uniform. 5 2/3, pretty good against the Blue Jays. He'll be on the other side tonight. The lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Toyota offers fuel efficiency you'll love, only better. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet reinvented, only from Comcast. By Citizens Bank. We're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phillies. And by Independence Blue Cross. No matter where you are in life or business, we have plans that fit. Go to plansthatfit.com. Last night's extra inning loss to the Milwaukee Brewers, and they'll turn their attention to Doc Halladay, who will take the baseball for the Phillies. Phillies will face this Brewers lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at second base, Ricky Weeks. Carlos Gomez, the center fielder, bats second. Ryan Braun hits third, followed by Prince Fielder and Casey McGee. Mark Kotsay's in right field. He'll bat sixth. Yuniesky Betancourt, the shortstop, hits seventh. George Gutaris, the catcher, bats eighth. And batting ninth and pitching is former Phil Randy Wolf. And they will face 33-year-old right-hander Roy Halladay, who has 171 career victories. Wheels.
You have a matchup tonight, Tommy, of the past and the present. The past, Randy Wolf. The present, Roy Halladay. And what a great game he pitches last time out in Washington. He has 22 strikeouts, 22 innings. He's already walked 3 this year. He hates to walk batters. Here's our scouting report from Southwest Airlines. You know, this guy just kind of sees what's working, and then he goes with it. He can adjust during a game. He's 1-1 against Milwaukee. He hasn't faced them a whole lot. You know, they scored some runs off him in the 2 starts that he's had against him.
Last year when he faced the Brewers, he allowed 4 homers in a game. Green is universal. Comcast Sportsnet celebrates Earth Week. You can get in the game by recycling your bottles and cans. Even small steps can make a big difference. Green plays on Comcast Sportsnet. And we're underway here on a cool night in Philadelphia. And the first pitch to Ricky Weeks is over for a strike. Weeks was 0 for 5 last night with a walk and a run scored. On the outside corner, 0-2 the count. Halladay, during his career against the Brewers, has faced them twice. He's 1-1 with an ERA of just under 6. Mentioned last year he allowed 4 homers in a game, but he wound up winning the ball game. 2 home runs to Corey Hart, 1 to Prince Fielder, and another to Alcides Escobar. Escobar's with the Royals, and Corey Hart still on the disabled list.
Throwing that heavy backdoor sinker right there and not getting the call on it, just a little bit outside, says the veteran Tim McClellan, who has probably umpired a lot of Roy Halladay's games.
Yeah, Tim McClellan was an American League umpire before the umpires merged into one group. Back toward the middle, Rollins can't get there, and Weeks is aboard with a leadoff single. So Weeks, who was 0 for 5 last night, has a hit here in the first. Tim McClellan, the tallest umpire in baseball history at 6'6", is the crew chief. Ted Barrett is over at first. Brian Runge's at second, and Marvin Hudson is around at third. Tim McClellan has a reputation of having a small yet consistent strike zone.
He's also slow calling the pitches too. You really have to be careful as a broadcaster not to jump the gun on this guy.
Carlos Gomez, the batter, and Gomez takes one for a strike.
He's a little quicker than he used to be, but you know, they say he makes the sound right away down there. The players know what's going on, and really that's all that matters.
Yeah, McClellan used to umpire on one knee and then come up and make the call. But because of age and because of bum knees, he now stands in kind of a squat.
He probably goes back to the balloon protector days too in the American League, where the American League guys used to wear that balloon outside protector, and they would have a higher strike zone than the National League guys because they had the inside protector and work lower in the strike zone.
The 0-2 pitch rolled on the ground to shortstop. Rollins has it. There's one. Valdez hurries the throw. Not in time. Very difficult to double up Gomez, and the ball hit that softly. But they get the lead runner one away here in the first.
Yeah, they did all they could do with that. And that ball, you could see it scooting through the grass. It wasn't hit real hard. But many guys are going to be doubled on this ball. But Gomez, we saw him last night, how fast he is. Valdez took kind of a wide pivot there. He took one across the bag as opposed to straddling the bag and maybe getting out of the way a little bit and then maybe getting rid of the ball quicker. But that extra step that he took on the pivot there, you can't get Gomez.
Well, Gomez now you keep an eye on. He has stolen 4 bases. Ryan Braun, who you also keep an eye on because he's had a good start to the year, is the batter. Gomez started, then stopped, and the pitch is hit foul.
Yeah, he was going on that first pitch, and then Halladay did something that made him stop. All they're really looking for over there in a situation like this is a don't run, because you're not going to play hit and run 0-1 normally. Obviously, you wouldn't bunt. So what the base runner is looking for to see if they put a hold on.
He doesn't go. Ball is chopped to the left side, through and into left, a base hit. Gomez puts the brakes on. So 2 hits in the inning for the Brewers, and they have first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, Halliday's pitching his game, and he's just throwing his ground balls, but two of them have found holes. Time for a Nissan keys to tonight's game. It's a chilly night here at Citizens Bank Park, and well, you want to get innings from the starters tonight. I would think both managers feel that way, because the Pens are a little bit tired after last night, and Phillies are just hoping that their offense will appear.
Yeah, both teams made roster moves before the ball game today to help out the bullpen. As Prince Fielder swings over the first pitch. J.C. Romero was placed on the disabled list with a strained calf muscle. There's no tear, it's just a strain. Mike Zagurski was added from AAA. Meanwhile, Sean Markham was put on the bereavement list. There's Zagurski. And Mike McClendon was added for the Brewers.
Well, Halliday watched Joe Blanton last night wear out Prince Fielder with changeups, and what's he thrown? Changeup to him.
There's Joe, who pitched well last night, did not get a decision.
He was very aggressive last night, threw a lot of strikes and pitching a good ball game.
Another changeup outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Fielder. Blanton last night went 7 innings for the Phillies, allowed 7 hits and 2 runs. And those 7 innings, as you see there, the high water mark for the year. Did a lot of good things. There goes Gomez. The pitch is taken outside. The throw to third. He is out at third base. That's a nice throw by Ruiz right into the baseline where Polanco could just grab it and apply the tag.
Braun moves to second as he followed him. But as Tom says, that's a really good play by Carlos Ruiz, but it's just a bad play by Gomez too. You know, you have to make that with a guy like Fielder up. You have a left-handed batter. The catcher has an open lane. I guess he figured maybe there's going to be another changeup and you have trouble handling it.
It's a second base. This should do it for the inning. Valdez knocks it down, throws out Fielder, and the side is retired. No runs, a couple of hits, 1 man left in scoring position. Good defense by Ruiz as we go to the bottom of the first. Life beyond the first inning tonight against the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's take a look at his lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off in center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco's been red hot. He'll bat second. Jimmy Rollins hits third, followed by Ryan Howard and Raul Ibanez. John Mayberry gets the start at right field for Ben Francisco. Carlos Ruiz does the catching. Wilson Valdez is at second. And Roy Halladay rounds out the lineup, and they'll face 34-year-old left-hander, the former Philly, Randy Wolf, who is 1-2. First 2 starts, wheels weren't good. His last start, though, was pretty good.
Hard to believe you just said he's 34 years old, too. He turned 35 in August. Seems like Randy Wolf was just a kid around here, and it wasn't that long ago. He did pitch pretty well his last time out. You know, he's pitched for a lot of teams. He's a solid major league starting pitcher. That fastball, he tries to throw it up, and he's very deceptive with it. They'll swing and miss at it. He's 2-2 lifetime against the Phils.
Spent 8 seasons with the Phillies, won 69 games. And here's Victorino. I mentioned the Phillies offense has struggled somewhat. They're still among the leaders in a number of different categories. So maybe seeing a left-hander might help the switch hitters in Victorino and Rollins as they get a chance to bat from the right side of the plate. But quickly, Victorino's in the hole, 0-2.
Randy Wolf throws more cutters now than he used to. He used to be fastball, curveball, changeup. A little bit like Cole Hamels.
0-2 the count to Victorino. Inside, 1-2. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Gina Scheuer of Philadelphia. If the Phillies hit a home run in tonight's ball game, then Gina will win $200. Hit sharply to short, and Betancourt throws out Victorino. Well, Randy Wolf's career with the Phillies, as we mentioned, he won 69 games. Since that time, since he left, he's been with the Dodgers, the Padres, the Astros, and the Brewers. In fact, he's been with the Dodgers twice, and he's 46-39. His ERA is better, Wheels, but he hasn't completed as many games.
Yeah, there's a guy who's played for all those teams, has never left the National League. And he likes being in the National League because he can swing the bat and help himself.
Polanco takes a strike.
He's had his Tommy John surgery, like so many pitchers, and survived that and come back and pitch with more velocity after it.
In fact, he came back from that Tommy John surgery and played for the Phillies for half a year as they gave him an opportunity to rehab and get himself healthy again. He pitched well in that half a year and then decided to test free agency, and he went out west because he wanted to realize the dream of playing in California.
Well, he pitched the first game in this ballpark. He had the opening day start here against the Cincinnati Reds, and first hit in this park was by a guy named D'Angelo Jimenez. Doubled down the right field line. They clanked off the seats down there, and that was Randy Wolf had the debut here in this beautiful ballpark.
1-2 the count to Polanco, and he fights it off. Wolf will throw a slider, but he also will throw a curve, one of those alley-oop curves.
Oh, he loves that big old slow one. He hasn't thrown it yet. You know, you see Livan Hernandez using it. Randy Wolf, he got it from a guy named Brian Bohannon who used to be with Colorado. Saw him throwing it. He started to throw, and it can be effective.
Again, the 1-2 to Polanco. Down the right field line, that'll be out of play.
Working out there with no sleeves tonight on a cold night.
What you would expect from a guy from Southern California.
Yeah.
Wolf was a second-round pick by the Phillies in 1997 and got to the major leagues in a couple of years. And he looked awfully young in those shots that we showed during our open. I mean, as you would imagine, he was young. Still has a little bit of a baby face.
Right out of Pepperdine. Beautiful school in Southern California.
Polanco was out in front, and he hits it high in the air to left. And Braun makes the catch.
He's doing a good job early to both Victorino and Polanco, moving the ball in and out and confusing him. He stayed away from Polanco a lot in that at bat and then got him out inside.
Probably get a mixture of attire here tonight. 56 degrees and cloudy. It's rained on and off most of the day. Precipitation should be gone, and temperatures are supposed to warm up tomorrow. But at least for tonight, jackets, parkas, sweatshirts, long sleeve t-shirts, whatever you can use to stay warm.
They say not far from here it's warm.
How about Rollins? Beautiful bunt, and Wolf can't get to it. Things have not gone well for Jimmy on this homestand. He had been 1 for 12, so he figured, why not lay one down?
Yeah, and he had McGee way back at third base, and that was in a perfect spot. Randy Wolf could field his position with anybody, and he really comes off the mound in a hurry here. But this really is one of those ones all you should do with it, just pick it up, put it in your pocket. That's a perfect drag bunt right there by a right-handed batter. You see how quickly Wolf was on that thing, too. Randy does a fairly good job, has always done a fairly good job too of holding runners on. He doesn't have a great move, but he's very deceptive with his leg kick.
Rollins has stolen 4 bags this year. Hasn't been caught yet. And Howard takes a fastball outside.
They've got the second baseman Ricky Weeks way out in right field. That's really deep. Wait till you see where he is.
That gives you a better perspective right there how deep he is at second base.
It's really deep.
Yep.
Now look where the right fielder is. Look, is he closer to here or here? Equidistant. Not quite.
Problem is he can't throw on a ground ball to Kotsay to get the out.
No.
But he does have a strong arm, and that's one of the reasons why he is there.
Right. The second baseman to do that can really throw. Wolf almost picked Fielder off. You see what I mean about his move. There's nothing about his move that has ever been one of those ones where you think he's going to pick guys off necessarily. But he does a really good job with that leg kick and varying it of keeping guys close.
2-0 the count to Howard. Ryan in his career against Randy Wolf is 2 for 15. One of the 2 though a home run. Overall the Phillies don't have a lot of at bats against Wolf because he doesn't have an overwhelming amount of appearances against them. But overall they have some pretty good numbers against him. Jimmy Rollins used to stand behind Randy Wolf when he was on the mound, so now he's looking right at him trying to lead off first.
Wolf really wanted that one. A little breaking ball and cutter, it looked like. Good job by Ryan Howard, too, because now he's ahead the count.
Ibanez on deck. Though he's going with back-to-back lefties in this lineup. Outside, ball 4. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. Now, this was an issue last night for the Phillies. Runners in scoring position. It hasn't been a big issue this year. They've done well with runners in scoring position. Last night, though, they were just 3 for 16. Brewers weren't much better, but 3 for 16. It's started to add up a little bit the last couple of days. And Ron Renneke, the manager of the Brewers, has an alignment right now that shows Ibanez as a pull hitter, but it's not overwhelming. And a fastball off the outside corner, 1-0.
Well, the Phillies have not scored many runs lately, but they seem to score in the first inning.
Two and 0 the count.
Wolf really trying to work these left-handed hitters away and missing, and they're not going fishing on him either.
To the direction of Ibanez's hits this year. He's pulled a majority of them, but he does have 4 the opposite way. He was hitting the ball well the opposite way in spring training.
Really opened up then and had a little trouble last night with a left-hander in doing that. You know, you can see when a guy's shoulder flies open, and they of course know they're doing it, but the secret is to figure out how not to do it.
Two and 1 the count. Phillies made Sean Markham work in the first inning last night. Anibal Sanchez on Sunday. Javier Vasquez on Friday. As Contreras and Wolf not on the same page right now. To left field, not that deep, playable for Ryan Braun. And he makes the catch, and the side is retired. Phillies get a couple of base runners. They leave 2. We've played 1 here in Philadelphia. Brewers nothing, Phillies nothing. take a lunch break with Rhea Hughes. Weekdays starting at 12:30. Only on CSNPhilly.com. Top of the second, scoreless game. Casey McGee, Mark Kotze, and Yuniesky Betancourt.
Looked like Roy Halladay was going to have a long inning with a lot of pitches in that first inning. They were hitting some bleeders through on him. But then Gomez is thrown out trying to steal third, and then he gets Fielder on the next pitch, and he got out of it with just 14.
And he starts McGee off with that curve. Well, back-to-back curves. And it's no balls and 2 strikes, although that looked like it might have been a changeup.
Yeah, and he didn't throw a single curveball in the first inning. He threw a lot of cutters, some changeups, and sinkers.
And a fastball hit foul over the first base dugout. In his last outing against the Nationals, Halladay completed the ball game, ran into a little bit of trouble in the 9th inning. But his quote after the game, he said, "It may be naive, but I never felt in trouble. I felt like it was a matter of making good pitches."
And he did.
Back toward the box. Nice play by Halladay. 1 away.
It's one of those things where a pitcher reaches for a ball. A lot of times they deflect them. But that big old long reach of his, he gloved that baby.
6'6", 230 pounds. And it was hit to his glove side, which made it a little easier.
Looked like he threw a sinker here. And, you know, you throw as many pitches that move and sink that he does, you're going to have action. You're going to have balls coming back towards you. And he makes a nice play there.
Mark Kotze is the batter. Kotze takes a fastball outside. See Kotze's numbers overall. Brewers are hoping to get Corey Hart back sometime in the foreseeable future. They have a lot of guys that are banged up that they're hoping to get out. Ron Renicky watched Corey Hart take batting practice yesterday here at the ballpark, and then he was shipped out for his rehab assignment. As Kotze cues one toward third, Polanco hurries, low throw, dug out by Howard. 2 outs.
Another good play by Polanco. Kotze, not a real good runner, didn't get out of the box. And Polly decided he had time to glove this. Watch, see how he gloves it and throws off that back leg. Nice play. Ryan Howard digs another one out. He's been really good over there at first base, as he had a tough little short hop to dig out. But, you know, a lot of times third basemen are going to barehand that one and throw. In that case, he decided he had enough time to glove it and throw.
Betancourt takes a fastball for strike one. Betancourt 4 for 12 in his career against Halladay. Two guys who spent a lot of time in the American League, but in different divisions. Betancourt was 0 for 5 last night, but he probably made the play of the game at shortstop as they appeal to Ted Barrett. On a liner off Sergio Midre, he made a diving grab to double up Michael Martinez, and what should have been another base hit for Placido Polanco. To right center field. That's pretty well hit. Victorino on the run into the alleyway. He's not going to get there. A one hop off the top of the wall. Good backup by Mayberry. And it's a 2-out double for Betancourt.
Here's a play Tom's talking about last night. This looks like a base hit up the middle. Would have tied the game. It goes right off Mitre. And then here comes Betancourt. Unbelievable play he makes here. And Michael Martinez was standing on third at the time. And he just flipped it back to second. And it's a double play. And they were out of the inning.
A lot of folks walking around the ballpark today saying, did you ever see anything like that before? As Gutierrez takes a pitch outside.
Well, I can't imagine. No. Where an infielder comes, you know, you see them sometimes, they'll go back for them, you know, on a deflection. But, you know, to come in like that and do it and then end an inning, save a run, all the circumstances in a close game, great play.
Out in front of a changeup, 1-1. And as you mentioned last night, they were playing in for 2. So he was closer to the ball, but still made a heck of a diving grab.
Right. If he'd been playing back, he's not going to be able to catch that ball if he'd been all the way back. Oh. Halladay wanted that one. I don't know if he's had some conversations with McClellan between innings over the years, or whether he just leaves him alone because he knows him so well.
Just off the outside corner, 3-1. Pitchers due up next.
You could hit a little bit, but that still doesn't mean you necessarily go after Kataris here. Well, you know, let's see what Halladay thinks, but Randy Wolf's been a good hitter throughout his career.
Hits hard to the right side, a base hit. Mayberry coming to it quickly. Betancourt took an odd step around third. The throw to the plate too high. It's an RBI single, and the Brewers lead it 1-0.
See, that's where you're surprised sometimes when a veteran pitcher gets hurt like that in that spot. And Halladay thought he had gotten some pitches to Kataris earlier that he should have been ahead of him, but he got behind him 3-1, threw the fastball in the middle of the plate, and he hit it. So a 2-out run. He's running on contact courses. Betancourt with 2 outs scores easily as Mayberry airmails the throw and allows the runner to move into sprint. Because we're seeing way too much of this lately on both sides. Really, a guy's making throws and missing cutoff men, and the runner moving up an extra base.
It was a point of emphasis during spring training. Charlie Manuel talked about making sure the outfielders hit the cutoff men so they don't allow the runner to go or take the extra base. Now, there may have been a play at the plate, but still.
Well, yeah, exactly. But you're never going to have a play at the plate with a throw that high. That's why you bring it in low, and either cut it off or it takes a hop. It takes a hop or it gets there on the fly low, and the guy has to stay at first base. Nothing can happen when you throw it in high like that. Nothing. Very rarely can anything good happen when you throw that ball high like that from the outfield.
1 ball, 1 strike to count to Randy Wolf. 1-0 Brewers. Outside and high, 2-1. There's Ben Francisco getting the night off, at least to start.
Wolf will battle you. He's hit some home runs in his career. He's a 189 hitter, but he has 592 at bats. That's a really good average for a pitcher. He's 31 doubles and 5 home runs. He's knocked in 54 runs.
And he fouls another one off. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes.
They're giving him a long inning here at the bottom of the order, and it didn't look like this was going to happen.
Line drive caught by Valdez at second. Side is retired, but the bottom of the order does some damage. With 2 outs, they score a run. They leave 1. We go to the bottom of the second. It's 1-0 Brewers. Phillies wrap up a 3-game series with the New York Mets on Sunday night, May 1st. It's an 8 o'clock start because of national television. Limited ticket availability still for that game. You can get your tickets by going to Phillies.com. Mets are taking on the Astros right now, and they trail at 1-0 as they go to the top of the second. Carlos Lee an RBI. As we take a glance at our Toyota Major League scoreboard, Wandy Rodriguez is starting for the Astros, and Jonathan Neese for the Mets. Randy Wolf has a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second. He'll face John Mayberry, Carlos Ruiz, and Wilson Valdez. First start of the year for Mayberry. He did get a couple of at-bats in a game when he played center field in place of the injured Shane Victorino on the first homestand. And he takes one for a ball. It's 1-0.
Wind is blowing out towards left and left center tonight. Right-handed hitters could get some help.
About time.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it either is from the northwest or the northeast. And before long, hopefully, we're going to be talking about it coming from the southeast and southwest.
Is it warmer then?
Oh, and does it fly then? Pitchers don't want to hear this. That's hitting weather when you get that kind of wind. Tomorrow it's supposed to be, I think, turn around that way for a few hours at least.
Well, the Phillies have hit just 11 home runs so far this year. Mayberry hits one in the air to straightaway center. Carlos Gomez looked like he was startled by that, and he makes the play. And Randy Wolf just got it inside where Mayberry could not extend his arms. And that'll bring Carlos Ruiz to the plate. Carlos 5 for 8 with a home run against Wolf during his career.
Hit that home run on a Sunday night game at Dodger Stadium off it. And Randy Wolf was pitching for the Dodgers, one of those 2 times that Tom mentioned that he was in an LA uniform.
He was with the Dodgers, then went to the Astros, and then wound up back with LA, pitched for San Diego, now with Milwaukee. Signed a long-term deal with the Brewers prior to last year. I think a lot of folks were surprised when he signed the deal with the Brewers. Nothing against Milwaukee, although it's snowing there today. But he seemed to be content with being out in California. Ruiz hits it to right center. Gomez on the run, and he makes the galloping grab. There are 2 outs.
Fast. Wow.
He closed quickly on that one.
I guess. That ball looked just like the ball Betancourt hit, because it was, and there was a double. Look, he was in. He actually started in on that ball a little bit and then outran it. He didn't run a great route at the start, and then just sheer athleticism. He had no chance for him to run to a spot on that ball. You see, he had to watch it the whole time, and Randy Wolf says, "Thank you very much."
2 away for Valdez. Valdez takes a strike. Valdez 1 for 4 last night, 1 for 7 on the homestand so far. Overall hitting .318. And he fouls that one off his foot. He already has a shin guard on the inside of his left leg.
There's one of those curved balls that look like may have been the first one that he's thrown up there. What was it? 66.
Another one.
And he'll do that when he starts to throw it. He'll back it up once in a while, and you know, Randy Wolf sometimes will get himself hurt with that. Now all of a sudden he's gone from 0-2 to 2-2, back where the hitters, you know, has a little more of an advantage.
And a grounder to shortstop. Good hop for Betancourt. He throws out Valdez, and the side is retired. 1-2-3 go the Phillies here in the home second. We've completed 2. Some good defense by Carlos Gomez as we go to the top of the 3rd. .com. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, the question is, what pitcher did the Phillies trade to the Brewers for Dale Swaim in 1992? The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Swaim is the hitting coach for the Brewers. He and Ed Cedar survived the changes from a year ago. So did Stan Kiles, the bullpen coach, after the Brewers made some changes and brought in Ron Renicky as their manager. Swaim was also the interim manager for the Brewers the year they went to the postseason and lost to the Phils. Top of the 3rd, Ricky Weeks leads it off. Had a swing and a miss. It's 0-1.
Halladay yet to record a strikeout tonight. They're putting the ball in play. They haven't necessarily hit it that hard off him, except for the double by Betancourt.
Weeks singled his first time up, but it was a seeing eye single right up the middle. 0-2 the count.
That's the thing about Halladay. All of a sudden he can start getting some swings and miss pitches up there the way he's just doing with Weeks.
How about the Phillies staff has allowed just 55 runs so far this year, which is tied with the Padres for the least. And there's the first strikeout of the night for Roy Halladay.
Boy, that changeup he has now, that is just nasty. Splits his fingers and he throws it fairly hard too. Watch the action. There. See, his fingers are split right there. It's not a split finger fastball. It's a changeup. But look at the movement on it as it goes down. That was the one actually went down and away from him. Ricky Weeks is going, what was that thing?
Carlos Gomez tries to bunt his way on. That brings the corners in.
That man have a spitter? Man, I'm telling you, you wouldn't believe the way that thing moved.
He didn't throw it to me the first time.
No, that's one of those pitches where you go, what was that?
Swing and bunt up the right side. Halladay off the mound, and 2 outs. Take the Phillies with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Phillies game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Phillies.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. Everything around Major League Baseball is taking place now. There's been one postponement today, the Padres and the Cubs. Seems like there's been rain everywhere.
The last year, I think Major League Baseball had a record for fewest postponements in the season. In fact, they went the longest into the month of April without a game being postponed. This year, just the opposite. It has been nasty in the Northeast.
Braun takes a pitch low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Now, speaking of the scoreboard tonight, let's take a look at the Toyota Major League scoreboard. Josh Johnson helped his own cause. Marlins lead the Pirates 2-0. A 2-run base hit for Johnson. He is not allowed a hit into the 3rd. That seems to be happenstance for him this year.
Yeah, that guy, he stays healthy. He's one of the top 10 in the league, maybe top 5.
Inside to Braun, 3-1.
See, that changeup he threw there went down and into Braun.
To right field. That's pretty deep. Mayberry on the run. Back to the warning track. That one is gone. An opposite field home run for Ryan Braun, his 5th of the year. And the Brewers take a 2-0 lead. That's the first home run allowed by Halladay this season.
Shows you how strong Braun is, too. Got ahead in the count. He's gotten hurt now a couple times, falling behind. 3-1 to Gutierrez and 3-1 there to Braun. Looks like he's trying to throw a cutter. Oh man, that thing came right back towards him. You saw where Carlos Ruiz was set up for the pitch away, and the ball came back over the middle of the plate.
Well, that guy is just smoking hot right now, Ryan Braun. I mean, he's reached base safely in 17 consecutive games to start the year. 5 home runs, 12 RBIs, and he's 2 for 2 tonight, and 5 for 6 in the series already.
He's a big time hitter. There's no doubt about it. He goes into his funks like a lot of power hitters do and strikes out. But when he's hot the way he is right now, he's tough.
To the left side, Polanco tries to cut it off. Rollins trying to sweep the throw over, not in time. Fielder looked like he may have tripped over Ryan Howard's ankle as he went across the bag. Man can move for somebody his size.
He can. He's very athletic for a man that big. And he could smell a legger right now. He could tell he had a shot at one, and he does.
I think his left foot may have hit the back foot of Howard.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, not the foot that was on the bag.
Because you saw him jump up in the air. You had to jump up in the air a little bit there at the end.
Ooh. Broke his bat. Rollins will throw over to first, and McGee is retired. So are the Brewers here in the 3rd. But Ryan Braun makes this a 2-0 ball game. He went the opposite way with his 5th home run. First one against Doc here in 2011. Reinvented only from Comcast, by the Quality Plus Ford stores, and by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Carlos Gomez right now defensively has the play of the game as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. Randy Wolf so far has allowed just one hit, and that was a bunt single by Rollins. Roy Halladay leads it off. Brewers lead it 2-0. Halladay hitting 167 this year. He has one hit in 6 at-bats. And a breaking ball in there for strike 2. And a strikeout for Wolf. That's his first of the game. Halladay goes down on 3 pitches and back to the top of the order. I had Wolf's roadmap off a little bit. It was the Dodgers, then the Padres, and the Astros in the same year. He didn't go back to the Dodgers from Houston in a trade. He went the following year in 2009. Last year he won 13 games, made 34 starts for the second consecutive year. As Victorino fouls off the first pitch.
Yeah, he's had 2 straight years now of well over 200 innings pitched. You know, that's a testament to what he's been able to do since coming back from that Tommy John surgery.
Hit hard by Victorino down the left field line. Braun gets to it quickly. Victorino still trying to go to second. The throw off line, and he's there standing. 5th double of the year for Victorino. Boy, he really pushed it going around that first base bag. He was flying.
Yeah, he hoped that Braun was not going to make a strong throw here. You know, the grass is wet. He's an outfielder, and he knows it's probably going to be a little bit tough to pick the ball up and throw it out there. And Braun threw it straight into the ground. No chance.
And Victorino was safe and secure at second. Safe and secure with New York Life. So a runner in scoring position. Second time tonight for the Phillies. They trail at 2-0.
And their first extra base hit of this series.
Yeah, they had 9 singles last night. Then the bunt single here tonight. And Polanco takes one low and inside. Seven consecutive games for Placido Polanco, including 2 hits last night. He's 6 for 15 on this homestand. And he has a chance to drive in a run, and he's been good at this year with runners in scoring position. In fact, one of the best in the National League. I would say that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad. Tough to keep that pace up. Although right now I'd like to be a little over 500 after this at bat.
Good spot here with the count 2 balls and no strikes. And he lays off 3-0.
He's one of those guys they might trust 3-0. That he'll just eliminate half a home plate.
Last night there was a situation where he had a 3-0 and Rollins had a 3-0. One guy swung, the other guy took. And that's just because one's going really well and the other one's still trying to find his groove. And he took there, and it's a strike.
Well, that was in an area where he might be swinging. So, you know, there's no way to know whether or not he had a green light or not.
Three balls, 1 strike to count to Polanco. He sprayed the outside pitch foul. Inside, ball 4. And the Phillies have 2 on with 1 out for Rollins, who will have a chance to drive in a run.
Well, Wolf went with the same pitch he went with last time to get Polanco out. He threw him that slider, and probably had kind of a check type swing at it. That time he went 3-2 slider, but it was way inside and he stayed off a good at bat.
Wednesday at 6:30, get a complete preview of Flyers Game 4 on Pregame Live with live reports from Buffalo. After the game, break it down with analysis and interviews you'll only see on Flyers Postgame Live. Get total Flyers playoff coverage on Comcast Sportsnet.
They're staying in a big overshift defense now, even for Jimmy Rollins. And, you know, with a left-handed pitcher pitching inside as much as Randy Wolf, he has a huge gap in left center field.
Flyers lead that series 2-1. Getting ready for Game 4. Heard Jim Jackson tonight on our pregame for radio. He was doing the pregame and he was in Buffalo. Somehow he found a studio where he can do the pregame.
A versatile man.
Want to know the count to Rollins. Little phantom toss by Wolf. The ball never left his glove. Little quick pitch there by Wolf. What was his fastball? What did it used to be?
Well,
Wheels 92, 93?
I would say 92, yeah. But he threw it up a lot more than he does now. He throws a lot more cutters and breaking balls.
There's a curve. Line to left. Braun on the run. And he makes the reaching grab. And everybody has to go back. That's a heck of a play by Ryan Braun.
A lot of things have been going right for the Phillies early in the season. Now all of a sudden this stuff's starting. And that's baseball, boy. Two great plays in the outfield. That is a real. That didn't look like he had a chance to catch this, because this is a slow breaking ball right there, and Jimmy hits it, and it's hooking away from Braun. Tremendous play. And now the base runners have to hustle back too. There he goes, right in the webbing of the glove. Full extension.
Ball had gone past him.
Oh yeah. And Rollins is thinking, oh man.
Polanco was already past the second base bag. He had to step on the bag and come back.
No wonder I can't get any RBIs.
So now Howard with 2 on. And Ryan takes a fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. A walk back in the first. He's going to think about that for a few innings. At least till his next at bat.
Well, he did a pretty good job with that curveball that Wolf threw him. That was my point about the defense they were playing. You know, they're giving him all that room in the alley, and Braun was over too, towards left center a little bit. That's just a great play, man.
A converted third baseman.
This is just a fastball. He'd been pitching him away, both at bats. And I think that may be the first time he's come inside to him.
Now Wolf's ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 on. There goes Victorino. Polanco follows and no throw. And the Phillies now with 2 in scoring position with 2 outs. High leg kick by Wolf. Gutierrez had no chance.
Yeah, Gutierrez does the right thing here too. He doesn't even throw because he's got 2 outs and 2 strikes on the hitter, and they're going to think about trying to get Ryan Howard out here and not maybe throwing a ball down the third baseline.
3 infielders on the right side for Howard. Runners on second and third. A base hit. The Phillies could tie the game. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2.
He gives in to Ryan Howard now. He handled Ibanez fairly easy first time up. Has a base open. I just don't think he's going to give Ryan Howard anything to hit here. Something away, like a cutter, slider.
Three and two the count with runners on second and third. Pulled to the right side. Weeks in shallow right has it, and he throws out Howard, and the side is retired. Well, the Brewers are one of the better defensive teams this year in the National League, and they've showed it off so far the first 3 innings. Gomez back in the second, and then in this inning, Ryan Braun reaching deep to rob Jimmy Rollins and the Phils. Snacks and Green Mountain Coffee for all your office needs. Who but WB Mason? Well, we go to the top of the fourth here at Citizens Bank Park. Marcotte will lead it off. Brewers lead it 2-0. Matthews joins us here in the booth. And Roy Halladay will go back to work. So far, Halladay's allowed 6 hits through 3. And a soft fly ball to shallow right center. Valdez tracks it down. That was heading toward no man's land.
Yeah, that's a play there, too. Outfielders, when you see the infielder going, you know you can't get to the ball. So just kind of stop, let him go all the way like they did. That ball is just floating out. See Valdez coming in, and right at the last minute, you see in your picture there, Mayberry just getting ready to dive, but that's not one you want to dive for, especially with the fielder under it.
Now Bettencourt, who doubled with 2 outs in the second, and the Brewers scored their first run. Little low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies starters enter tonight's ball game with Halladay on the mound, 7th in the league in earned run average at 3.76. But also with Halladay and Lee combining with back-to-back complete games last week in Washington. Phillies are tied with what National League team, Sarge, for complete games, for most complete games?
How about San Diego?
San Diego would be an excellent guess if it was a year ago. I mean, it's only a couple weeks into the season.
Colorado?
Nope.
I give.
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Come on.
I'm serious.
I would have never guessed that. Not in 100 years.
I knew I could tag you along for a little while. 2-2 is hit back to the box. Second time Halladay has made a play, or third time I should say, made a play of his own. And he has 2 outs here at the top of the fourth. And it'll bring George Gutierrez to the plate. Well, you think about the first 16 games, 17 games of the season. There are some surprises around baseball. Biggest surprise team-wise in your eyes?
Oh, it's got to be Pittsburgh, without a doubt.
The fact that they're 8-8.
Well, the way that they're actually playing and the way they have been playing against some of the better clubs, you would think that club would be down all the way. And I got to think Colorado also a surprise.
Their start, best start in the National League.
Right. Tulowitzki getting off to that great start, and that's what you want. That's what you need in order for your team to get hot, win ball games. You need a couple of guys hot, having almost career years or like all-star type year in order to be in first place. Colorado's doing that.
All right, now American League, I would think it's the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, well, I mean, the Cleveland Indians playing the way that they're playing, and let's face it, no one would pick them. And again, with Kansas City, but guess what? That's why you play 162, because it's going to level themselves out, just like you see a lot of guys hitting 300-400 here. They're going to level out right about to their 230, 240, where they normally are.
2-2 is hit foul and out of play. But about a week or so ago, folks were talking about the Baltimore Orioles, and they were off to a hot start. They were within reach in the American League East. In fact, they were leading the East at one point, and now they've kind of tailed off. They're winning tonight, but they've kind of tailed off. So some teams that are surprise squads linger a little bit. They're the Orioles. They're leading the Twins 3-0 in the fourth. Every year there's one or two teams that linger. Last year it was the Padres that were the surprise team for most of the year.
Yeah, well, I like how they were saying how Buck Showalter was really going to have them playing well. He got them believing in themselves that they can beat the Yankees. Well, they're going to have to come back and beat them. That's a tough division. That American League East is about as good as it gets.
3-2 pitch. Hit foul again. It's a pretty good at bat. It's a long one too. Now, speaking of the American League East, the Yankees are no surprise sitting atop. The Red Sox are probably a whopper of a surprise sitting at the bottom. Hit to second base. Valdez to his right, and he throws out Gutierrez, and the side is retired. A 1-2-3 inning for Roy Halladay, his first of the night. Now let's see if the Phil's offense can get something rolling. Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEFF now. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? And by Jeep Brand. We don't just make SUVs. We make history. Well, they continue to make history here at Citizens Bank Park. Another sellout as the Phillies trail at 2-0. And everybody hopes that Chase Utley gets well soon. And he is progressing. And that's the good news. Phillies could certainly use him in the middle of their order.
That's just a lot of production when you're talking home runs, clutch hitting. Not to have in your lineup.
Banez leads off the fourth.
Now, the one thing about Chase, if he wasn't hitting, he was going to get hit and get on base. That's how much he believes in what it takes.
I was here early today getting set to tape an edition of Charlie Manuel's TV show, and he was talking to Chase, and he kind of reiterated what he said to Chase on his show, where when he was asked about what it would be like to play in this era, he said, I'll tell you what would motivate me is 4 at-bats here at Citizens Bank Park every game.
Oh yeah, and he's saying that because he knows he can hit.
Yep.
And playing in the ballpark like this, fans motivate you.
Well, and that's part of it, and that's the big part of it, is the fans. You know, just playing in front of sold-out crowds every night with such a beautiful setting, and as he said, a great view as a hitter. You know, the fences all around baseball are not as deep as they were a few years ago when he played. And he said that alone would motivate him.
Well, that means those line drives would be
correct.
Getting out of the ballpark. He was a line drive type of hitter. Played with some good hitters.
But he said about the energy too here at this ballpark. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ibanez.
Well, when you're a player here, I mean, the fans, they appreciate your play hard. They're a blue-collar type city anyway. And the guys that go out and they play very hard, like they've had players in the past, from Dykstra and playing here, Dawson playing here, Smitty. I mean, these guys played hard. When you play hard, the fans appreciate it. But saying all of that, you got to win. Because they expect for you to win, not only just in this sport, in all their sports. And they talk about it all over the city when you're playing. And they're talking now like, hey, what's up with the offense? When are they going to turn that around?
Swing and a miss. Ibanez is down on strike. Second strikeout for Wolf. And 1 away here in the 4th. Well, we feel it even here in the booth. You know, we can feel the energy, the buzz. Oh. You know, you go to other places, no offense to those other places, there's some beautiful ballparks, but it's just not the same.
No, but when you've had the reputation over the years of winning and it starts to rub off, they're proud to wear that Phillies ball cap and T-shirts all over the city. Not just this city, everywhere we go. We've experienced that, especially in spring training. Everywhere you went, you saw Philly fans.
Here's Mayberry, who takes a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-1 at 67 miles an hour. Mayberry fly to center. His first time up. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. He tried to back up that curve.
If young John Mayberry sitting on fastball, or if he's going to throw another hook. Trying to keep the ball in. Anytime guys are big, they want to try and tie guys up inside. That's a hole that they have on the inside part of the plate. 2 strikes. They do the same thing to Ryan Howard, trying coming up and in.
Inside and low, 3 balls and 1 strike. Phillies have managed just 2 hits against Wolf so far.
He's been mixing them up, breaking balls, fastballs, and most importantly, he's been getting good defense.
Ball 4, and Mayberry draws a 1-out walk. Third walk, excuse me, issued by Wolf. Guarantee all the regular season publications this year with the 2011 publication subscription. Receive the media guide, yearbook, photo card set, and all issues of Phillies magazine. To order, visit the fans section on Phillies.com or call toll free 877-GO-PHILS. Speaking of those photo cards, look at that picture of the Fanatic, Sarge, and below that, in our crisp yellow shirts.
Wow.
They pop, don't they?
I'll say. Thank goodness I had on a hat. I got to tell you, bunch of bananas it looked like to me. Holy cow. Did you see that?
I did. I was there. I thought it came out sharp.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
You're about the only one.
Off the outside corner to Ruiz. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Ruiz was robbed his last time up by Carlos Gomez in center.
Now Gomez gets good jumps. No, young legs out there, they want to play. They want to run it. You can see how enthused he is when he's out there running at those balls. It's the way Mays used to do it. He thought if it stayed in the ballpark, it should be caught.
Inside. Oh, it hit him. And Ruiz took a look back at Tim McClellan. And the Phillies have first and second with 1 out again. They had it in the third. They had it first and second with 2 outs in the first. And let's see if the bottom of the order can come through. Randy Wolf doesn't seem too concerned about it.
Yeah. Well, he's been under control with his pitches. And again, with the 2-0 lead, he's been throwing good breaking ball. Let's see whether or not it did hit him or not. Oh, that's what he was talking about, is that Ruiz actually kind of twisted his way into the ball. Like he was saying, it really wasn't that bad of a pitch. He's got a pretty good break on that ball.
Randy Wolf, his last outing against the Pirates, went 6 2/3, allowed only 3 hits, had 10 strikeouts, won the game 4-1. Here he's allowed 2 hits. And Valdez takes a breaking ball for strike 1. Will get me over curve. Polanco's at 500 with runners in scoring position, but Valdez 56 points better to lead the team. Little number back to the box. Wolf quickly turns to second for 1. That's all they'll get. He does field his position well. They get the middle runner.
Boy, you're absolutely right about that. He caught that ball, turned around, and just fired a strike. No chance for the double play. Now, he gets jammed on that after a slow curveball. Look how he just turns and fires. He believes in his ability being able to get the ball. Nice takeout. See, nothing going on there, being able to throw the ball by Weeks.
Not only does he believe in his ability, but he also believed that somebody would be there to cover second, because he just grabbed it and fired.
Right away. The only way you could probably get the double play, but wasn't to be.
First and third for Halladay, who struck out his first time up. And he fouls the first pitch down the right field line and out of play. Halladay, no RBIs this year. He has just the 1 hit.
Well, that's a luxury, though. Anytime your pitcher can drive in a run or get a base hit. Pretty good pinch to hit. Fouled that ball straight back. Those are the ones that pitchers want, or even hitters. Balls, fastballs out over the plate.
See if Halladay can make some contact. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes, and the throw over to first. I don't know if you're the pitcher out there. I wouldn't even bother throwing over to first there. You have the pitcher up. It's one of those where coach would yell from the dugout, just go after the hitter.
Yeah, nothing good can happen, especially if he's close to the bag.
And a swing and a miss, and Halliday's down on strikes for the second time tonight. And the Phillies leave a couple more. They've left 6 through the first 4. We go on to the 5th here at Philadelphia with the Phillies down 2-0. Hey, Wednesday, May 18th, the Phillies and the Colorado Rockies will get together for just 2 games. That's the only visit of the year for the Rockies here in Philadelphia. The Thursday game is Teva Respiratory Asthma Awareness Night. A free cap to all fans. There's the cap right there. It's a beaut. You can go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. There are limited seats available for not only that game, but also for just about every game this year. So don't be afraid to click onto the Phillies website and check out the seating chart and purchase your tickets today. Top of the 5th, 2-0 Brewers, and Halliday delivers one just off the outside corner. Randy Wolf lined the second his first time up. Over to the right side, Valdez to his left, stays down on it, and he throws out Wolf. 5 in a row set down by Halliday. Halliday retired the Brewers in order in the 4th, and every time the Phillies retire the opposing team 1, 2, 3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. 1 gone here in the 5th. And Ricky Weeks will slow up his walk to the plate as Randy Wolf takes the slow stroll back to the dugout. Weeks is 1 for 2. He singled back in the 1st and struck out his last time up. That one was a little low. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, where he has his hands down low. Those guys that have them down low, very difficult to try and get that high pitch. You got to bring your hands up there.
Now, people talk about Dominic Brown's hands being too high.
Yeah, and I think before long he'll make an adjustment and get them down, for me, a little bit lower. But the way he's hitting now, and if he's having success, you got to leave him right where he is until he actually fails.
Now, what about Weeks? Do you try to tell him if you're the Brewers hitting coach as he grounds one back to Halladay.
I think so, because I feel that he would have better success. He's such a gifted athlete, and still gifted and so strong that he can get away with it. I just feel he should be more in that hitting position instead of going and getting in the hitting position.
Yeah, there's an extra step there that just takes too long for a hitter to get there and then have to make a swing. Everybody's different, though. Everybody has their different stance. Their hands are always in different spots. Outside, 1-1.
One of the reasons why you don't copy anyone else's stance, because it has to be your own, where you feel comfortable. You know, one player's legs are a little wide, where another one maybe will be a little bit closer.
Remember Eric Davis from the Reds? Right now, Ricky Weeks' stance looks like Eric Davis is used to look.
And let me tell you, Eric had his hands down even lower.
Think so?
Oh, there's no doubt. Now, but the movement, he didn't have as much movement, Eric Davis, in going to the plate.
And a swing and a miss. Gomez, he was fooled on that pitch, and Halladay gets another 1-2-3 inning. He's retired 7 in a row. He's hoping for a little offense when we return. Wednesday are encouraged to donate their used cell phones to the Philadelphia Zoo's Return the Call of the Wild program. The zoo receives cash back on all recycled cell phones, with proceeds going to the nonprofit Endangered Primate Rescue Center. Collection bins will be located inside the first base gate at Citizens Bank Park. A lot going on here tomorrow as the Phillies and the Brewers wind down their 3-game series. It's also Science Day here at the ballpark. And a couple of engineers from the University of Pennsylvania will have what they call a Philly bot, which is a robot that they contend can throw a pitch from the mound to the home plate.
Can you get any that can hit?
Well, I guess that's the next step. I think they're conquering the pitching part of it.
Just throwing that out there now.
Apparently the Philly bot can throw the ball between 30 and 40 miles an hour. Well, those folks at University of Pennsylvania are smart. Maybe they can get a robot to swing the bat by tomorrow.
Now that would be something. Okay, be one thing to throw a ball and another thing to be able to see it coming and react and hit it. See what it would do on an up and in pitch.
2-2 the count. Randy Wolf leads it 2-0. He's allowed just 2 hits as we start the bottom of the 5th. Victorino doubled his last time up. And he pops it up. First base side, Prince Fielder into foul territory. 1 out.
Well, not a bad swing. This bad pitch selection's got to get the ball down to have a little bit better success. You know, talked about that with Weeks. It's awful hard to get on top of the ball, even if the guy's not throwing that ball hard. One of the more difficult pitches to hit. Ball maybe out of the zone or top of the zone on a fastball that's up.
80 pitches for Wolf. The 80th got Victorino to pop up into foul territory. Sarge, Victorino is having trouble from the left side on this homestand, and had the double from the right side in the third. He hasn't had a lot of at bats from the right side of the plate this year.
No, and I think though if you look at his hits, I think his hits would be balls that would be more down. He really smokes the ball when it's down in the zone.
Both sides of the plate.
As opposed to being up, absolutely. Now he can handle the ball a little bit better on the right side when it's up, but on the left side he has a tendency to pop it up a little.
He had that last night where he swung a high pitch late in the game, which probably would have been ball 4.
Yeah. Well, those are always tough situations. 3-2, guy throwing hard. What you want to do, zone the ball down.
2-1 is a cue shot toward first, and Fielder will flip it to Wolf covering, and he has 2 easy outs here in the 5th.
Well, this is why Randy's been so good. Take a look at it. Good defense as he jumps and catches. Now this one right here, game saver there, Braun there, that might have scored 2 runs. He has improved greatly out there in left field, coming from third base. He's just a good athlete.
And we saw that with Gomez, his athleticism, when he was able to get that ball that Ruiz hit too. And there are a couple of things tonight that are the quote-unquote differences in the game, but those are 2 rather large differences in the game.
Well, when you're playing that, I mean, your good defense, you can get away with a couple of the bad pitches that he did. Those certainly would at least be 1 run, and no telling could be 2 runs.
1-1 the count to Rollins, and a fastball low, 2 balls and 1 strike.
You can't get discouraged. You just got to keep hitting the ball hard. You've done your job as a hitter once you hit that ball hard. That's what you're trying to do. If you get the hits, that's more so, a bonus.
We mentioned earlier, Phillies and the Brewers are atop the National League in fielding percentage, along with the Braves. Both teams came into play tonight with just 7 errors. Rollins hits it foul right by Juan Samuel. Very big decision. Not many foul balls. A lot of nights get down there. You want to make sure you give it to the first person you promised it to.
Now the other reason too that Braun was able to catch that ball, he plays a pretty deep left field.
Swing and a miss. A high pitch, and Rollins is rung up, and the Phillies are retired in order here in the 5th. They go down 1, 2, 3, 5 in the books here in Philadelphia. Randy Wolf and the Brewers lead it by 2. Off-season acquisition in Major League Baseball. Back in a Phillies uniform, back on the mound, and back in command. Number 33 was dominating in the District of Columbia. Out of his left hand and into Chooch's glove, 12 Nationals went down by strikeout. Cliff Lee fired his 6th career shutout and did it with just 99 pitches. This complete game performance is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way. And Cliff Lee will follow up Roy Halladay tomorrow afternoon here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phillies trail tonight 2-0 as we go to the top of the 6th. Halladay's thrown 75 pitches at this point. Ryan Braun will lead it off. He homered his last time up. Not too much different tonight for Halladay compared to his last outing against the Nationals. I mean, he's had good stuff.
Well, he's had good movement on his pitches. Got a couple of balls that might have been up in the zone and not moving as much. Braun, though, he has been a hot hitter coming in and continues to swing the bat.
Well, now he's behind 2 balls and no strikes to Braun.
It's a great feeling as a hitter when you know you're up there, you're able to take pitches. Everything you hit is hard. And Braun broke in with Tulowitzki, and along with Mr. Pence there with Houston, and you were looking at those 3 players were the players that were going for the Rookie of the Year. Certainly those 3 players you can build a club with. Don't know which one of those players will end up being the best, but Tulowitzki would have to be one of the players you would think about, and certainly Braun would be there. Pence probably hustles more than both those guys, but
oh boy, that ball hit something on Ruiz's shin guard. The shin guard popped off that piece of it. It was the front flap that protected his toe. The ball hit that area and the shin guard went flying back behind the plate.
Take a look at it and see.
Oh,
well, I don't think he even got glove on
he
that.
Caught
did
it.
he?
Yeah, I don't think he touched it. Let's see it here.
No,
he didn't touch it.
That's exactly what happened. The ball cut so much. That couldn't have felt good.
Well, it's the first base runner for the Brewers since Braun and Fielder had back-to-back hits in the 3rd. Here is Fielder with a runner at first and nobody out. To the right side, that'll sneak on through. Braun around second, he'll hold up there. Back-to-back base runners now for the Brewers to start the 6th. And 7 hits allowed by Halladay.
Well, he's getting ground balls, not making bad pitches. Balls are just finding holes. That happens sometimes. Definitely looking for a double play ball right now off of McGee.
So a season high 7 hits allowed. McGee's grounded out twice, once to Halladay, once to Rollins. And he lines one, caught by Howard. That ball was a scorcher. And Fielder took a step or 2, but then was able to get back to the bag.
Another inside out swing. Looked like McGee was trying to go to right the whole way. Howard up to the task, line drive as he catches the ball. Not hard enough, however, to make a double play. There it is, inside out the ball. Good base running there by Prince Fielder to get back.
So 1 away for Kotzen. And a breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. See, that theory about all you can do is hit it hard and there's not much you can do about it. I don't know if Casey would want to hear that right now. He hit that ball hard to Ryan Howard.
Let me tell you, no one wants to hear that. Hang with him or way to hit it. You'd rather crack your bat and get a base hit.
Kotze's 0 for 2, a grounder to 3rd, and a pop out. And that one is on the outside corner, a 1-2. Still try to get it to the same spot. Just missed. Some other umpires would have called that a strike. But for Tim McClellan, he's consistently left the outside part of the plate to the hitter.
I don't know exactly what kind of zone that Tim has. He called some in, some down.
Boy, that looked a little closer. It's 3-2. Betancourt waits on deck. Runners lead off. Here's the 3-2. Oh boy, look out. Yuneski Betancourt just leaned out of the way as that one lined right on by him.
Boy, that was such a late swing by Kotze.
I'm Betancourt. I might take another step to the right.
Or get in the dugout, one of the two. Tell you can't move when that ball's coming in at you.
Line drive, base hit into right field. Mayberry gets to it on a couple of hops. Braun heading home. He'll score. And the Brewers take a 3-0 lead. An RBI single for Mark Kotze. For a couple of real close pitches. And Ruiz is saying something to Tim McClellan behind the plate. I think Halladay asked Ruiz where those pitches were before he walked out to the mound.
You see that pitch more over the plate, almost belt high. Even as good as Halladay, when you throw them there, they get hit.
Betancourt in the air to center field. It's pretty well hit. Victorino on the run. Fielder's going to tag from second. Victorino makes the catch. Fielder goes to third. And back to first is Kotze. 2 outs, runners on first and third. So Gutierrez, who is 1 for 2, he has an RBI single tonight, batting with runners on first and third. The way the offense has been struggling on this homestand, this 3-run lead is a big one right now. There's no question the Phillies offense has it in them to score more than 3 in a game, but the way this, the way these 4 games have gone so far, Sarge, it seems like it's a tough task.
I couldn't agree with you more. We talked about that in spring training a little bit too. If you look at Big Joe Blanton there, Ledge in the background.
Yeah, he pitched well enough last night, but the Phillies offense just didn't score more than the 3 runs.
Yeah, well, you got to have, with this good pitching staff, you don't want to waste them.
Back to the box, another chance for Halladay, and the side is retired. But the Brewers get a run. They leave 2. We're through 5.5. Mark Kotze has given Milwaukee a 3-0 lead. Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. By Chevrolet. See your local Chevy dealer or visit ChevyDealer.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines do Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats, and no blackout dates. Oh, it's raining again here in Philadelphia. Phillies trail at 3-0. And they did say there would be some showers, so folks made sure they brought some umbrellas, they brought some ponchos. They practiced how to put them on. At least 3 of the 4 of those guys did. That's your Phillies umbrella. And we're ready to begin the bottom of the 6th. Randy Wolf is a 3-0 lead. Ryan Howard leads it off. And Howard lays off the first pitch, which is a strike. It's 0-1. Poncho can also turn itself into a blanket when you only have 2 and you have 3 people that need it. Big, slow curve. Howard's 0 for 1. He walked his first time up, grounded a second his last time up.
Those are pitches right there that he usually hits and just hits hard.
Wolf comes from the side a little bit on that one. It's 2-2.
Yeah, got to get some base runners. Get him into a little bit of trouble and see if he's able to maintain his composure on the mound.
Well, this will be his 95th pitch of the night. And it's a strike. And Howard's down looking. 5 strikeouts for Wolf.
Yeah, there's my point in saying you don't know exactly what pitch he's going to call or make it a strike. Let's see this ball here. That's borderline there. Let's see it again there. It's coming in. I think it's off just a little bit.
Well, Howard is a strikeout victim. Here's Ibanez with 1 away, and Raul takes 1 low. 1 ball and no strikes. To your point, though, Sarge, you're right. You know, there's been pressure on Wolf tonight, and they just haven't gotten that clutch hit. Towering pop-up, shallow center, straight away for Gomez. And he puts it away for the second out. But you know, the more you put pressure on a starting pitcher, the more you give your offense a chance to get that key hit.
Well, and that's why you need those base runners, and you need them with guys on base. And, you know, it becomes frustrating at times, I'm sure, not only for the pitchers, but also for the everyday players. They don't want to let the pitchers down when they're throwing good games like this, knowing that they should be able to score off of some of the pitchers that they're facing. I mean, they're not like they're overpowering or throwing no-hitters.
Mayberry takes, and it's a strike. John Mayberry's dad played 15 years in the majors, hit 255 home runs. So you have 2 different legacies out on the field at the same time tonight. Prince Fielder over at first. His dad Cecil was a home run hitter in the big leagues. As Mayberry lines it to center, he didn't get to extend it again, and Gomez takes care of him. And Wolf has back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. We're through 6. Wheels will return when we come back for the top.
Well, tough night for the Phillies again offensively. They had a couple shots at Randy Wolf early. 2 tremendous plays, especially the one by Braun. May have saved 2 runs and would have tied the game at that point, but they have made the plays, and Randy Wolf has coasted the last couple innings. Roy Halladay tonight, 3 earned runs on 8 hits, both season highs. He allowed a walk, 2 that scored. And the only hit so far by Shane Victorino had a double down the left field line, and Jimmy Rollins a bunt base hit.
Well, and the Brewers are going to go to their bullpen when we get to the bottom of the 7th. Sean Green is celebrating a birthday today. He'll come on, and that's because Eric Almonte is going to pinch hit for Randy Wolf here at the top of the 7th. So Halladay begins the 7th. Wolf is done after 6, and Halladay delivers a breaking ball to Almonte for a strike.
Wolf threw a lot of pitches.
Swing and a miss. He is right at 100 pitches, Randy Wolf.
Yeah, and they decided after 6 that was enough. He got out of a few jams early with some plays in the outfield, and then the last 2 innings he didn't hit a ball hard off him.
There's the 0-2 to Almonte. Swing and a miss. He got him. 3 pitches, 1 away here in the 7th.
And Roy Halladay working on his last inning because he's due to bat 3rd in the 7th.
Hey, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They will receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. Well, last night, the starting pitcher for the Brewers, Sean Markham, went 6. Left after allowing just 1 run, and the Phillies tied it. Randy Wolf went 6 tonight, struck out 5, allowed just 2 hits, and he'll turn it over to the Brewers bullpen.
Well, the Brewers have been pitching great, especially their starters up until the weekend series with Washington when they got into some problems. But they really have done a very good job with their rotation here early in the year.
And that's a storyline because Zach Greinke's been on the DL to start the season. Ruiz hustles from behind home plate, and he sails the throw over the head of Howard. And Weeks will get to second. Well, they had to hurry if they were going to get Weeks.
Probably Halladay had the best shot at him, and it wasn't even going to be an easy play. This is really a tough play for Carlos Ruiz. He's got a long way to go. I think it went a lot further than he thought it was going to go, and he called Halladay off the play, and now he spins on that wet grass, and see you later, hitting an error. I don't know that Halladay could have thrown him out either. He couldn't have rolled that one out there much better than that.
You saw the replay as that throw went over the head of Howard. Weeks was already at the bag. Now Gomez with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Dangerous part about this is that you have Braun and Fielder due up next.
Yeah, the Phillies don't have any bullpen activity because they want Halladay to get through this inning, and then they're going to hit for him.
There's Braun. 1-0 the count to Gomez. To third. Big hop for Polanco. Chases Weeks back to the bag. And then Rollins and Halladay both go over to cover the bag. 2 outs.
Very good job by Polanco to do what Tom just said, is running back to the bag. He had a lot of time. Even though Gomez runs so well, that ball was on him in a hurry with a big hard 1-hopper. So he made sure that he ran Weeks back because Weeks was thinking about coming over to third. But he wasn't going to go unless he was 100% sure to make it because he doesn't want to make that 3rd out over there with Braun coming up.
Ryan Braun just peeked into the Phillies dugout to see if they would walk him intentionally with first base open. But you have Fielder in the on deck.
Right. That's why it's nice to hit in the spot where he is.
Yeah. He has scored twice tonight. He's 2 for 2.
Tough out. One of the toughest outs in the league right now. He's not chasing bad balls. He really looks like he has a feel for the strike zone. And he's really barreling a lot of balls too. He's hitting it hard.
Mike Zagurski just called up from AAA today. David Herndon warming up in the pen for the Phils.
Halladay now has gone over the 100-pitch mark.
His last outing, because of the complete game, Charlie Manuel said that he probably threw more pitches than he wanted him to. But he was in line for the complete game, and you see his pitches by inning tonight.
You see Braun too. I mean, he's not even flinching. and close pitches. He really has a great feel for the strike zone right now. Ball must look really big to him. There's no way he's swinging a 3-0 breaking ball either.
Looked like he just mouthed that was outside.
It was.
3-1 the count. And that's high, ball 4, and Braun walks for the second time tonight. So first and second.
Well, Charlie would bring Zagorski in right now to pitch the fielder. Doesn't really want to, even though it would only be a one. You know, even though they would hit for Zagorski too, but now he's going to leave Halladay out there.
Well, fielder tonight has 2 hits against Halladay, 2 for 3. An infield single and a seeing eye single, and the first pitch is outside for a ball. Rich Doobie went over to the phone just to make sure everybody was ready out in the pen, and a strike to fielder. One ball, 1 strike to count. And the pitch.
Well, he just had one of those nights. Notice there haven't been a whole lot of swings and misses at him tonight. And not a lot of balls put into play early either. And as a result, you know, he's here in the 7th inning trailing. And with 108 pitches.
Well, and a lot of close pitches too that some nights he would get, but he's just not getting tonight. That one's outside. It's 3-1.
But I just don't think he's sharp tonight the way you see him some other nights. Still pretty good though.
Yeah, he still has allowed just 3 runs.
Right. Just some nights you see him go out there and the ball's moving all over the place and hitters are swinging and missing, putting balls in play weakly. Not that they've hit him hard tonight, but you know, it just seems like one of those nights where he's just, you know, a little average, and he's allowed to be. Most of the times you look at him and he's exceptional.
Runners will be off on this pitch. Here it comes. Hit on the ground, right side, off the glove of Howard, and it trickles it to right field. Weeks will score. It's 4-0 Brewers.
I think Ryan Howard will tell you probably should have made that play, as Charlie's going to come get Halladay now. He thought he could get him through this inning, but it's not going to happen. And Ryan dove for that, and it looked like he got a lot of leather on it.
Well, they'll score that a hit and an RBI for Howard. And as Charlie Manuel goes out to the mound. He'll take the ball from Halladay, score that a hit and an RBI for fielder off the ball, off the glove of Ryan Howard. So Roy Halladay's evening is complete. He's allowed 4 runs on 10 hits so far. The 2 runners on the corners are his responsibility. David Herndon will be the new pitcher for the Phillies. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen. tomorrow's Flyers Sabres Game 4 faceoff, and Thursday Heat at Sixers matchup. Get all the news Philly fans need to know on Sports Night, presented by Toyota, tonight at 10 only on Comcast Sportsnet. 4-0 Brewers, top of the 7th. And David Herndon will take over for Roy Halladay. Halladay went 6 2/3. He allowed 10 hits and so far 4 runs. And Herndon will face Casey McGee with Braun at third and Fielder over at first. And you see the numbers on Herndon. A 5.14 ERA in 7 innings of work. Casey McGee's 0 for 3. Phillies have not lost a game 2 or 3 in a series this year.
Yeah, they haven't lost 2 in a row.
Right. The Yankees and the Rockies are the only other teams that have gone without back-to-back losses. And McGee sends it in the air deep to left field. Ibanez on the run to the warning track to the wall, and that one is gone. A 3-run home run for Casey McGee, and just like that, it's 7-0 Brewers.
Well, that was a sinker that came running in on him, and boy, did that say hit, man. He did.
Second home run of the year for McGee. He now has 10 ribbies.
Look at what happens here. Look at this thing come right down in, and McGee put a good swing on it, and it just clears the fence out there, just over the fence, and then bounces back into the field of play, but a home run.
Kotsay now the batter with the bases empty. 7-0 Brewers.
And 6 of those runs will be charged to Halladay.
Kotsay is 1 for 3. Single home run in the 6th inning. Outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, you look back at some of the games the Phillies have played this year, and they have 5 losses coming into this ball game. They lost 7-1 to the Mets back on the 5th of April, and 7-4 to the Nationals on the 12th of April. Now there's ball 4. Kotsay draws a walk. But as we've talked about, they haven't given up a whole lot of runs this year.
No, and they don't expect to with the starting pitching that they run out there every game. But you know, tonight one of those nights, and give the Brewers credit. They swung the bats well here tonight, and they've executed and done the things they've had to do. And the Phillies are, you know, Randy Wolf did a heck of a job for 6 innings.
Hey, he's allowed just 2 hits, or he allowed just 2 hits as Betancourt takes a sinker low. Betancourt's 1 for 3. And a line drive base hit to left for Betancourt. Up to second is Kotsay, and the Brewers now have batted around here in the 7th.
And he might probably use Zagurski now.
Well, Zagurski is ready to go. He'll fire a couple more pitches. And Charlie Emanuel walking out to the mound, and that's going to be it. At least it seems, for David Herndon. There's the signal to the pen. So Zagurski will make his 2011 Phillies debut. Just called up today. He'll come into the ball game with runners on first and second and 2 outs here in the 7th. Last night's Dollar Dog Night, brought to you by Hatfield, was a roaring success. We'll have another one on Tuesday, May 3rd at 7:05 when the Washington Nationals are in town. It's the first of 3. All 3 games are night games. Limited seats are still available for all 3 of those ball games. You get a chance to see Jason Worth back here in Philadelphia in a Nationals uniform. You can go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets today. Well, Randy Wolf will get as close as he can to Casey McGee and say, hey, thanks for the cushion. A 3-run home run. It's 7-0 Brewers. Mike Zagorski. 7 strikeouts in 3 games with Lehigh Valley, and he fires a strike on his first pitch here in the big leagues. Zagorski on for David Herndon. David did not retire anyone. He allowed 2 hits and a walk. And there's ball 1. Phillies had options to bring up certain guys from the minors, but in Lehigh Valley, a lot of guys had worked an awful lot the last few days. So Zagorski got the call with the major league experience.
And he's a left-hander.
And he's a lefty.
They lost the left-hander in Romero to the disabled list, so they wanted to bring him up.
JC said today that he thinks he'll be able to get back after the 15 at the 15 days, which is a good thing. Turns out after being checked out, it's a strain to that calf. 3-1 the count to Kataris. Ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And Almonte, who started this inning with a strikeout, will bat again. Eric Almonte back in the big leagues for the first time since he took over at shortstop for the Yankees several years ago when Derek Jeter was injured on opening day. This is the first time he's been on an opening day roster. Imagine that. All right, son, you have to take over for Derek Jeter.
Yeah, that was that play when he got hurt at third, wasn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah, in Toronto.
0-2 the count. The slider.
Got hurt on the bases in that game. Or else making a play at third.
Almonte had a great spring. I mean, he lit it up to earn the right to come north with the Brewers. The 0-2 in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I remember this guy when he played in the minor leagues in the Yankee system. Yeah, he's put on some pounds since those days, but he was thought to be a pretty good prospect for them. But like every other middle infielder for the Yankees, there was no room at the inn.
Yeah.
Back toward the middle, and that'll go into center field, a base hit. 2 runs will score. It's now 9-0 Brewers. So after striking out to start the inning, Almonte singles to keep the inning alive. And those 2 runs are charged to David Herndon.
Yeah, this is an ugly inning.
And now Weeks. He started the rally with a little dribbler to the left of home plate and got to second when Ruiz's throw went over the head of Ryan Howard.
Well, he scored all these runs with 2 outs. 6 runs with 2 outs.
Fastball for a strike. Fastball in tight, and it's 1-1. 9 runs, the most scored against the Phillies this year. And now 13 hits. Foul tip it to the glove of Ruiz. 1-2. And the pitch. Tried to check his swing. Ruiz asked for an appeal. They didn't get one. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Giants have jumped out to a 4-0 lead over the Rockies. Top of the second. They jumped out to a big lead last night against the Rockies. Pat Burrell hit a home run.
Yeah, and Lincecum rode that to a win.
Swing and a miss, and the inning is finally over for the Phillies. Casey McGee's 3-run home run was the capper as the Brewers scored 6 runs with 2 outs here in the 7th, and they take a 9-0 lead into the bottom of the 7th. Wheels, what pitcher did the Phillies trade to the Brewers for Dale Swaim in 1992?
I'm stumped.
Well, that's why it's called Dodge Stump the Fans.
Yeah, I had no idea. 0. None.
How about Bruce Ruffin?
Oh, okay. Bruce Ruffin.
You're okay with that answer?
I know him well, but no idea.
Oh, it's a shame that he didn't give you a call and say, Wheels, it's me. I'm the answer.
Remember me, the old Longhorn?
Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. I think he's still working for the Longhorns, isn't he? He's coaching in Texas or something like that?
Yeah. Keith Moreland was doing some games for them down
he was,
there.
yep.
And now he's working for the Cubs. Bobby Keith Moreland, another Texas Longhorn that was on the Phillies.
Oh, Sean Green takes over for Randy Wolf. Wolf will leave with a 9-0 lead. 9th ball game for Green. He pitched in last night's game.
This is good too. They're going to get Carlos Ruiz out of a game and let Brian Schneider catch a little bit and get in that bat here and hit for him.
So Schneider will pinch hit in the bottom of the 7th. And he takes one at the knees for strike 1.
Don't know if Schneider was going to play tomorrow anyway with the day game after a night game, but a great time to get Ruiz out.
Ryan so far this year has 1 hit. It's a home run and 6 at bats. The 0-1 pitch in the air to center field. Carlos Gomez ventures a few steps over into the left center field gap. And there's 1 out. Remember earlier in the game, Ruiz took that ball right off his toe. It knocked a piece of his shin guards off.
Yeah, you know, you get the feeling that if this game weren't 9-0, that there's Danny's bias up. The game went 9-0. He'd still be back there behind home plate catching Roy Halladay if things are going the way you wanted them to go. But here's a play that Tom's talking about with Braun batting, and he just didn't look like he got any leather at all on that. He got whacked pretty good with it.
Valdez is the hitter. He's 0 for 2. Rounded out to shortstop, and he hit one back to the mound. Outside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Really, it looks 9-0. You know, this one's way out of hand right now. But earlier in this game, They made two tremendous plays in the outfield, especially the one by Braun. Maybe it prevented a tie game. Would have been 2-2 at the time. And then to Randy Wolf's credit, he really worked out of that, and then he didn't get anything off it.
Yeah, Randy Wolf retired the last 8 batters that he faced, if you count the fielder's choice by Valdez. He went up striking out 5. One ball, 1 strike to count to Valdez. Back toward the middle, over the mound. Betancourt behind the bag, throws on the run. That's a fine play, and there are 2 outs.
See, Randy Wolf tonight mentioned that he did a really good job. He's always been an outstanding fielder. There he gets a strikeout on a fastball in, little nubber right there, and he throws to second base, gets a force out, almost a double play, and then an up and in fastball and a breaking ball there to Ryan Howard on the outside corner. Randy was a young pitcher with the Phillies. He used to get a lot of strikeouts, just the way he got one on Jimmy Rollins on high fastballs.
Well, Pete Orr will pinch hit now with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. He'll pinch hit for Mike Zagorski. As we said, Baez is loosening up in the pen. And the first pitch from Green is over at the knees. It's 0-1. Pete Orr, 5 hits so far in 11 at-bats.
Had a huge hit here last night to tie the game and moved into scoring position when Braun made an overthrow at the plate and gave the Phillies a chance to maybe even win the game. Their pinch hitting has been excellent early in the season.
Amazing.
Orr has been good. Glode's been good. Mayberry. Carlos Ruiz hit a pinch hit grand slam home run.
There's Michael Martinez stretching his legs. He might come in. Last couple innings.
Yeah, it's a good time to get some guys in the game right now to play, especially with the day game tomorrow. And this one 9-0.
And the 0-2 to Orr. To the left side, right at Casey McGee. And it's a 1-2-3-7 for Shawn Green. Phillies have been retired in order the last 3 innings. We've completed 7. We go to the 8th, and when we return, Danny Baez will be on the hill. I'm loving it. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Top of the 8th, Brewers on top 9-0. Some changes for the Phillies. Pete Orr stays in the game to play second. Michael Martinez will come on to play shortstop for the Phillies. Ryan Schneider stays in. He pinch hit for Ruiz, so he'll catch. And Danny Baez, the new pitcher for the Phillies, he'll take over for Mike Zagorski. Baez in 7 games so far has a win and a loss at a 2.84 earned run average. It'll be Gomez, Braun, and Fielder for the Brewers in a 9-0 game. Gomez swings at the first pitch and challenges Martinez right away. 1 out. Michael Martinez's natural position is shortstop. We didn't see him there often in spring training because Jimmy Rollins didn't get a whole lot of time off. 1 out for Braun. Wheels tomorrow, a pretty special first pitch being thrown out here at the ballpark. We talked about the Philly bot that will throw out a first pitch, but also Art Mahaffey will throw out the first pitch tomorrow on the anniversary of his 17 strikeout games.
Still the most strikeouts by a Phillies pitcher.
It's a lot of strikeouts.
Right. Steve Carlton never struck out more than 17 with the Phillies. He struck out more than 17 in his career in a couple games, but now with the Phillies, and Artie still holds the record. Second game of a doubleheader against the Cubs at Connie Mack Stadium, Tommy.
Towering pop-up on the infield or aggressively calls off Martinez.
I think.
It sounded good.
Yeah, I think that's what it did. Well, it's all in the delivery. But it was the second game of a doubleheader at Connie Mack Stadium. I'm pretty sure it was against the Cubs. I'm going to have to look it up, or guys will take care of that for us. Or we'll certainly have it tomorrow. But Art had good stuff. And what a pickoff move he had. And
really?
And he could hit, too.
I knew he could hit.
Artie will tell you that. Good to see him.
Jim Cott's in the house tonight. He could hit, too.
Oh, couldn't he? He told me tonight he thought he had like around 190 complete games. No, he won 280 games, 280 some games. Cott was a borderline Hall of Fame pitcher.
Absolutely. 17-time Gold Glover.
Right. 200 innings year after year, over 300 innings at times. There's Kitty over there with. Oh, there's Bob Uecker in the middle.
With Bob Costas.
Bob Costas. There's a couple of beauties right there. Cotton and Uecker. Bob Costas, one of the great broadcasters. Period.
Yeah, Bob Costas and Uecker used to team up on national telecasts.
Good to have Bob back doing some baseball. And that's he will tell you, his first love.
It wasn't doing Mr. Belvedere?
No, Costas.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think that Bob Uecker.
Oh, Uecker, yeah. Well, there's so many people that know Bob Uecker from either Mr. Belvedere or just a little outside. They don't realize that, he was a major league player. And maybe one of Johnny Carson's favorites. That guy was on Johnny Carson's show so many times that he used to make Carson cry, make him laugh so hard. It's great to see you, too, because he had some serious health problems last year.
Casey McGee's the batter with a runner at first. 2 outs. And the first pitch to McGee inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
One of those great things about Yuki show that at World Series ring is, yep, see this baby right here? 5 more payments, it's all mine. He had so many great lines. Still does when you talk to him. He's still got new material.
McGee, a 3-run home run his last time up. It's that one a straightaway center field. He hit it pretty well. Victorino, though, will have room, and he makes the catch. And Baez is through the 8th. No runs, no hits, a man left. We've played 7.5. We go to the bottom of the 8th here in Philadelphia. And the Reds will begin a 4-game series. Game 2 will feature a Roy Oswalt bobble figurine, free to all fans. That's compliments of Toyota. You can get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. And there are seats available for all 4 games between the Phillies and the Cincinnati Reds. Phillies trail at 9-0 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Some changes for the Brewers. Craig Counsell will come in to play left field for Ryan Braun. And the new pitcher is South Jersey's own Zach Braddock. In his 8th ball game, no wins, a loss, a 3.38 ERA. And Braddock, who went to Gloucester Catholic, he made the opening day roster for the first time in his big league career. And he delivers a pitch high. It's 1-0 to Victorino.
Just to get the record straight, Chris Short struck out 18 in the game for the Phillies, but that was in. Remember the game I told you about? He pitched 15 innings.
Yeah.
That was a game he struck out 18 in 15 innings. Shorty did, but Arts was 17 against the Chicago Cubs on the 23rd of April, '61. And Steve Carlton had a 16 strikeout game in a Phillies uniform, but of course he struck out 19 with the Cardinals in the game that Ron Swoboda hit 2 2-run home runs off him, and he lost 4-3.
Yeah, you look at the most strikeouts by Phillies pitchers in a game, whether it be extra innings or in 9 innings, and Lefty is all over that list.
Oh yeah, but he never struck out more than Art Mahaffey in a Phillies uniform.
Curt Schilling's also in that. Among that list. Schilling struck out 16. That's the most for him in a Phillies uniform.
Right. We kept thinking somebody was going to get Art. When you had Schilling and Carlton around all those years, you thought one of them was going to break Art Mahaffey's record.
Towering pop-up over toward the Brewers dugout. No chance for McGee or Kataris. The wind kind of got a hold of that one a little bit and just kept on moving.
Yeah, McGee knows he should have caught that, but he didn't catch it.
Shane's 1 for 3 tonight. He grounded out in the first, doubled in the third, popped out to foul territory his last time up. In the air to left center field. That's pretty well hit. Gomez. Boy, he can cover a lot of ground. He's there to make the catch. A step from the wall. It's one away.
He's a glider out there. And sometimes you see center fielders that have those long strides. And of course, he has tremendous speed along with it. But he reminds you of Beltran a little bit. When Beltran could run. Here you see how far he goes. Now he's playing in right center field. Look at those long strides. That's like Beltran's, like Andrew Jones. And he had that thing all the way.
He'll come in a few steps with Polanco at the plate. Polanco is 0 for 2 with a walk. Has a 7-game hitting streak on the line as the Phillies trail at 9-0 here in the 8th.
So figure Counsell's going to hit maybe Counsell's hitting 9th in their lineup. Give him an at bat, potential for an at bat.
Now Gomez goes to the right center field gap and over his shoulder puts it away.
It's the thing about Gomez. I mean, he's teased teams for a lot of years. When you see him play the outfield like that, you think, how is this guy not a star everyday player in the major leagues the way everybody thought he was going to be? And I don't know, because we don't see him that much.
Oh, he just hasn't hit.
Yep.
That's the biggest thing.
He looks like he could run about 250. Well, tonight he's 0 for 5.
Martinez swings at the first pitch. But he fouls it back. Outside. Michael Martinez has 2 hits so far in 9 at bats. Switch hitter batting right-handed against Zach Braddock. This time Betancourt fouled that hop off the lip. It didn't go all the way down, and he throws out Martinez, and the Phillies again are retired in order. It's the 4th straight inning. The Phillies go down in order. We've played 8. We go to the 9th with the Brewers up 9. They've managed only 2 hits against the Brewers staff. First Randy Wolf, then Sean Green and Zach Braddock. And now as we go to the top of the 9th, a couple more changes for the Phillies. Ben Francisco comes on to play right field. John Mayberry moves from right field over to first base in place of Ryan Howard. So Ryan Howard gets the rest of the evening off. And Danny Baez will face Mark Kotsay. Kotsay swings at the first pitch. Martinez, smooth play, getting to the backhand. And a nice play by Mayberry to dig it out. 1 away. Phillies haven't had one of those games where you just say, well, it's just one of those nights. And, you know, tonight is one of those nights.
Yeah, when it's 9-0 in the 9th, it's the wrong side of the 9s.
Day game tomorrow. Cliff Lee will get the start against Chris Narveson. Phillies entered play tonight, a 1.5 over the Marlins for first place in the division. Marlins have defeated the Pirates 6-0 behind Josh Johnson. So if this score holds, the Phillies lead will be at a half game. Two balls, no strikes the count to Yuniesky Betancourt. I didn't realize this, Wills. We're talking about most strikeouts by a Phillies pitcher. Carlton's on the list a lot for the Phillies, but it's also on the list on the other side for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah.
Struck out 16 Phillies twice, once in '67, once in '70.
Well, Lefty was pretty good before he came over.
Well,
to
he
the
was.
Phillies.
Yeah, he was.
He was. Like I tell you, and he either did it once or twice. He had those 19. I know he had 19 once in that Swoboda game. He lost. Imagine striking out that many and through two two-run home runs of Ron Swoboda in that huge ballpark in St. Louis.
Sandy Koufax is on that list too, 3 times.
Yeah, one of them might be his no-hitter against the Phillies. The Wino made the last out.
Figured he'd go down in history for something. Huh?
Yeah, well, Bobby may be watching tonight. I don't know if he's watching 9-0 in the 9th, but he's proud of that he was the final out of Sandy Koufax's no-hitter. He struck out appropriately enough.
Went down proud.
He went down after fouling a ball off the home plate umpire right before that.
Line drive caught by Orr out at second.
And the umpire said Wino was telling the guy to stay down, take your time, because he knew he was in trouble once the umpire got back up.
Baez retires the first 2 batters here in the 9th. Guitarist will hit for the 5th time. He has a hit in 3 official at-bats. He's also walked.
One of Koufax's no-hitters.
To the count. By the way, Francisco bats in Howard's spot, so he'll lead off the bottom of the 9th. And the 0-2 pitch. Hit on the ground to first, and Mayberry stays down on it, and he'll take it to the bag himself. And it's a 1-2-3 9th inning for Danny Baez. So the Brewers go down in order. Phillies trail at 9-0. One last chance when we return in Philadelphia. And it's time now for our WB Mason deliveries, wheels of the game.
Only 1-0 at this point, and Brian Braun, a very hot hitter. It looked like Roy tried to throw him a pitch away, came back over the middle of the plate a little bit, and he lined it out to right. That's how hot a hitter he is. And then in the 7th inning, David Herndon comes in and ran a sinker down and into him. Bam, as Sarge would say. Right over the fence out there into the flowers and back onto the field, a 3-run home run. That, for all intents and purposes, pretty much put the game out of reach, and that is our WB Mason deliveries of the game.
Yeah, the Phillies were down 3-0 going to the 7th
or something like that. I knew there were 2 of them.
Yeah. And then the Brewers scored the 6 runs in the 7th. Mike McClendon, one of the last cuts by the Brewers in spring training, called up today. Sean Markham was placed on the bereavement list after his outing last night. His father is he left to tend to some physical issues with his father. His father's due to have some surgery, so he was placed on the bereavement list, and McClendon was called up. Baseball has not only the bereavement list, but they also have the opportunity for, if players' wives are expecting a child, then they can leave as well. As McClendon gets Francisco to line out for the first out.
Philly's last base runner was when Carlos Ruiz got hit by a pitch in the 4th inning.
Yeah, since that time, Randy Wolf, Sean Green, Zach Braddock, and now McClendon have set the Phillies down in order.
Yeah, so it seems like they haven't had much activity offensively. They haven't.
15 straight batters have gone down, counting Valdez, who reached on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Well, I should say 15 straight outs. Little number foul. 0-2.
Guys try, but it's tougher to put quality at bats together when the scores like this.
Ibanez is 0 for 3. He's flat out twice. He's also struck out. One away, bottom of the 9th. Phillies down 9-0. And it's outside, 1-2.
Works on the first base side of the rubber, the right-handed pitcher.
Outside, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ibanez. And he fouls it off. Wonder what Charlie might do tomorrow with the lineup. You know, Narvison's on the hill, day game after a night game.
Another left-hander.
Another lefty, yep. And Ibanez draws a walk. Not saying Raul won't be in the lineup, but maybe that's one of the reasons why he's still in the ball game. Regulars have not really had too many days off. I mean, he has spelled Valdez and Ruiz. Tonight, Mayberry started for Francisco.
Yeah, he may try to do a few things different tomorrow, try and shake it up a little bit.
So here's Mayberry with 1 out. Oh for 2. And he's taking all the way. Ibanez goes. Ball is bounced toward third. Behind the bag, McGee. Low throw, dug out by Fielder. 2 outs.
Fielder did a heck of a job staying on the bag after a fine play by McGee. See McGee way down the line on this one. Strong arm. And look at Fielder just stay on the back. Good play on both ends.
Fielder thought so.
Yeah.
Here's Schneider with 2 outs.
Well, he fools you as big as he is. He's pretty agile down there, and there he goes.
He left his feet, may not have needed to, but he records the final out, and the Brewers win it by a final score of 9-0. Brewers pitchers hold the Phillies hitless since the 3rd inning. As they close this one out, a combination of Randy Wolf and the bullpen finish off the Phils, who managed just 2 hits tonight, and they have been shut out tonight for the first time here in 2011. Our Chevrolet player of the game, Randy Wolf, who had 6 strong innings tonight, so back-to-back solid outings by the Brewers starting pitcher.
Phillies had 2 men on against him in 3 different innings, but he worked out of them. 1 inning with the help of a great play by Braun in left field. There he makes a nice play himself on the ground ball. Strikes out Jimmy Rollins on a high fastball. Gets Brian Howard there on a slider. It looked like away. Randy Wolf, tremendous game here tonight through 6 innings. Our Chevrolet player of the game.
So Wolf gets the win. He's now 2-2. The Brewers take the first 2 games in this series. We'll be back to talk about it right after this.